Hello everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Preparing for the Virtual Internship and Co-op Fair. Today we'll be reviewing everything you need to know about our virtual fair, including how to prepare and the resources that will guide you. My name is Clarice Pennick. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm a career intern at the UConn Center for Career Development, and I'll be walking you through the webinar today. Now, before we get started, I'd like to go over a few items so you know how to participate in today's webinar. You should see your attendee interface on your computer desktop in the upper right corner. You're listening in using your computer's speaker system by default. If you would prefer to join over the phone, just select telephone in the audio pane and the dial-in information will be displayed. You will have the opportunity to submit text questions by typing your questions into the questions pane of the control panel. You may send in your questions at any time during the presentation. These will be addressed during the question and answer session at the end of the presentation. Once you leave today's webinar, you will be directed to an evaluation for the presentation, and we would appreciate if you could complete that and provide your feedback. Note that today's presentation is being recorded and will be emailed to all webinar registrants within 24 hours. This year, our virtual internship and co-op fair will be happening on Handshake, and all employers can host sessions with students individually or in a group. In group sessions, up to 50 students can join a single one and can engage with employers in a larger virtual setting. Our one-on-one sessions are individual 10-minute conversations with a representative of the company, likely more similar to walk-up conversations you may have at an in-person fair. Each employer can have up to 15 representatives attend. For each of these sessions, you do not need to use video, but audio is required. Also, the technology will likely work better and with less potential issues if you use a laptop or desktop computer instead of your mobile phone. Approach this virtual fair as you would an in-person fair. You still need to prepare a resume, an elevator pitch, and do an adequate amount of research. This semester, the Spring Career Fair is taking place virtually on Wednesday, March 24th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. In order to sign up for sessions with employers, you must have a public profile on Handshake and you must be registered for the fair. First, you should navigate to the events page via the top menu bar and select Career Fairs. Click on the name of the fair you'd like to register for, then click Register in the upper right corner of the page. If you see a fair or event you'd like to save to review later, you can click the bookmark icon to the far right of the fair name to save it. You can use the Saved filter on this page to locate saved events and fairs. Now, once you're registered for the fair, you'll be able to view and sign up for available employer sessions. You can click the Available Sessions tab in the upper left-hand corner of the page below the fair title and date name. If you don't see any sessions available for a certain employer, definitely check back closer to the date of the fair. They may not have added any slots yet, and they'll add as needed. Completing your profile on Handshake is one of the keys to making sure that you have a successful internship and co-op fair experience, especially in this virtual environment. First thing you want to do is make sure that you fill out your education section. Now to do this, you click the pencil next to your name and make sure you have your major filled out as well as those start and end dates included. For each of your work experiences, make sure each has a job title, the name of the employer, the time period that you were there, and the location. Similarly, for your organization and extracurricular activities that you're involved in, make sure all of those are complete, all details are included as well. Now, one of the benefits of Handshake is you can also include those skills that you want to include, documents that you'd like to showcase to employers, any relevant coursework, projects, etc., and you can include your resume. Make sure to upload that into your profile as well. If you'd like to personalize your profile a little bit more, you can include a profile picture as well. But the goal is to get to 100%. Before you actually attend the fair, there are a couple of things that you should do. Firstly, you should polish your resume. We recommend that you make an appointment online at the Center for Career Development for a one-on-one virtual resume critique. Making sure that it's customized for the field or industry that you're looking to go into is crucial. Your resume should convey the unique qualifications and skills that you can bring to that specific employer. When applying to internships, research opportunities, and co-ops especially, it's also important to include your on-campus and virtual extracurriculars to contextualize your resume a bit more and showcase your involvement and leadership experience. We recommend you do this sooner rather than later, as you want to be prepared well in advance with a proper document. Now, the most important thing to do before the fair is research. Familiarize yourself with the employers that will be attending the fair and create a list of those that you would like to virtually meet. For a complete list of employers, you can download our career fair app, Handshake, or go to the website at yukon.joinhandshake.com. This list is already uploaded and you can start looking into the employers attending now. Now, using this information, you can visit employers' websites and research what they do, their mission, and available positions. You can even visit LinkedIn profiles of employees at companies of interest to gather as much information as possible. Now, based on this, sit down and come up with at least 3 questions to ask employers. This will show them that you're genuinely interested in each company and getting to know more about them. For those who haven't attended a fair before or haven't attended a virtual fair before, here are some general tips to prepare you. There will be last-minute day of slots available for you to sign up and chat with employers. However, as mentioned before, slots are available on a first-come, first-served basis, so try to sign up as early as possible. When you're scheduling, also try not to make your conversations back-to-back. Give yourself some time in between each, especially in case one runs over. We also recommend getting yourself warmed up. So don't start with your number one employer. Let yourself get used to the process. One of the last steps in preparing for the fair is to create an elevator pitch. You may or may not have heard this phrase before, but an elevator pitch is simply a brief bio used to introduce yourself to other professionals, and you should only use about 15 to 30 seconds to introduce yourself, your major, and year. Now, first impressions are crucial, so it will be helpful if you plan your introduction ahead of time. Make sure to be friendly and have what you're going to say ready. Be sure to describe your interest in the company, as well as any relevant experience you may have, being as specific as possible. It is even more important in this virtual environment than usual to offer your contact information and ask them for theirs as well. Employers and representatives won't be able to hand you their business cards as per usual. Also, thank them for their time and consideration. A great way to prepare for this part of your meetings with employer representatives is to schedule a career coaching appointment, also via Handshake. This way you can get feedback and practice before the fair. If you're wondering what to wear, the gold standard is to dress for success. Think about what you would wear to an interview. Having a professional business outfit is important for this event. A full suit, pantsuit, or skirt suit is recommended. If you have nice dress pants and a button-down shirt or blouse, this works well too. Now, this all being said, virtual meetings such as these require only what is seen on camera to consist of professional attire. Regardless, hold on to this idea and use it to guide your decisions at interviews and other events in the future. After you've signed off from the fair, remember to send thank you notes to each employer you met with. This is the step most students forget or leave out. Your thank you note can mention aspects of the position you found to be interesting, parts of your conversation with the employer representative that you enjoyed, and anything else about the role that you would like to mention. You can do this via email or even through LinkedIn, but make sure to send them within 24 to 48 hours. About 2 weeks after the fair, you can follow up with organizations that you are still interested in or where you have applied to roles. You can do this by contacting the recruiter and expressing your continued interest or asking questions about the application process. Some things to keep in mind heading into this fair. Firstly, other than the use of technology, this fair is just like any other. The level of preparation should be the same as if you were preparing for an in-person fair, and the employers will expect that as well. Secondly, this format is new to everyone, including employers. We're all adjusting, so do not worry if there are issues such as technical difficulties or anything else. Employers will be understanding. Additionally, do not be discouraged if you don't hear back from employers right away after requesting conversations. They can be overwhelmed, they can be dealing with responding to lots of applicants, so hang tight and follow up with employers following your meetings. After the end of this webinar, you will be emailed a recording of the webinar to refer back to in order to prepare for the fair. We also have a blog on our website entitled 10 Virtual Career Fair Tips You Need to Know, which will walk you through preparation for participating in a virtual fair, which will help you with this fair and others hosted by our office in the future as well. Our Career on Demand video resources are also great to refer to for any questions regarding your resume, interview preparation, and more. And last but not least, we also have our website career.uconn.edu, where you can find tons of resources to support you and your career development journey. That wraps up all of my content on preparing for the virtual spring career fair. Thank you so much for attending, and now we're going to move into the live question and answer session. As a reminder, you can still submit questions through the questions pane in your attendee control panel. Hi all, thank you so much for attending. As mentioned, we are going to head into the question and answer session, and if you have anything you'd like to have answered or anything clarified on, please submit them through the questions feature of your control panel, and we'll discuss those a bit. Right, the first question we received is a question about your resume. What is the appropriate length for an undergraduate resume? And our office typically states that 1 page is the appropriate length for a resume. So if you're going to be submitting those through the fair, which we highly encourage you to do by uploading it into your Handshake profile, and again, making your Handshake profile public, you want to make sure that you're getting that down to 1 page. That being said, if you're in an industry where you have a lot of extensive clinical experience, such as teaching or clinical settings, such as in a hospital or similarly, that might be an exception where you go over to 2 pages. But good question. Typically, we are looking for a 1-page document. Another question we got is how early can I sign up for slots and will there be more added? Another great question. So you can start signing up for slots with employers as soon as right now. As soon as you click register for the fair, you can start signing up for slots. Employers are already have slots assigned to their employer profile, which you'll see as you scroll through the list of employers. But they're also adding slots constantly. So if there are either none available or none at times that work for you, continue to check back. And oftentimes there will be a name of a recruiter assigned to those time slots. So feel free to reach out to them and use that resource. Another great question. You can sign up as late as the day of the fair, before those slots happen, shortly before, but we definitely do encourage you to sign up as early as you can and continue to check back regularly. Another question I'm seeing from from students is, from several different students, is how do I market experience to employers if I don't have relevant experience? So let's say if you're applying for a job in an industry that you don't necessarily have very specifically related experience to. One of the ways that you can describe your interest and also your qualifications for that role is by contextualizing it through your other experiences. Now, one of the ways you can do this is by emphasizing your transferable skill set. Your transferable skills are the skills that you can use across industries, across experiences that make you a strong leader and a strong communicator, etc., in different contexts and different settings. So if you have a lot of leadership experience or involvement in your clubs and organizations, that is definitely something to emphasize. And one of the things I would recommend outside of just emphasizing those experiences is to pull from the specific job descriptions that you're going to be applying into. One of the benefits of Handshake is not only being able to see who works for the company beforehand, but also the specific jobs that they have open. So by referring to those listings and those postings, you can say, oh, they're looking for a strong communicator, a strong leadership presence in the office, and they're also looking for these blank, blank, blank technical skills. So aside from those, if you can present those experiences that you've had where you've used those skills to an employer, that's definitely one way to frame that. So great questions on that, but definitely do not, at any stage in your career, especially during college, be disheartened and not have those conversations with employers because you fear you don't have enough relevant experience. So thank you for asking that question. Another question we just received is, what do I do if there are technical difficulties? We actually just recently had an event with employers 2 days ago where we got this question as well. And the general consensus is that you should not worry at all if you have technical difficulties. We're living in this almost entirely virtual environment right now. So employers, recruiters, anyone that you meet with, they're going to be understanding if you disconnect, if your Wi-Fi isn't working, if you have to turn your camera off. I guarantee they will completely understand. And oftentimes will extend their contact information to you so they can continue that conversation at a time that is more convenient. As long as you extend that as well, and continue to demonstrate your interest, any employer or recruiter that you're talking to will definitely appreciate that effort and completely understand where you're coming from. And that being said, I think that might be our last question, but thank you all so much for attending. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our office. We're available via email at career@uconn.edu. We also have career.uconn.edu, which is our website. Feel free to contact us, schedule career coaching appointments, a resume critique. A lot of our services are available online entirely. We are entirely virtual this semester and would love to help you engage with employers in a way that's going to maximize the effectiveness of this career fair for you. So thank you all again for attending and good luck at the fair.